Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of the Golden Gauntlet. It is I, Tapey Styles, calling the action, flying down the middle as always, calling the action solo. And tonight, in the second week of the Golden Gauntlet, we have a stacked, jam-packed card of singles matches galore. Ricky Rhombus, with 3 points on the board, will be going up against Popo. David Rush will be going one-on-one against Bob in the B bracket, but in the A bracket, Slarty with 3 points will be going up against Tape, who has 0. Oliver English will be going up against Pierre Cinema. However, we will be starting things off hot and heavy with some B block action. Let's make our way down to ringside. The referees are patiently, eagerly waiting for the first combatant to make his way through the curtains. It appears that we're getting a match of brute force to open up tonight's edition of the Golden Gauntlet. As Bob makes his way down the aisle, Bob, of course, getting the skip week last week as part of the Golden Gauntlet. Anybody that drew the number 5 slot in their block got the night off last week, but they are set to go 4 weeks in a row from here on out. Bob, of course, earning his position in the Golden Gauntlet after defeating Nick Flawless in singles action in his singles debut. Now he has to go up against one half of the Boise Boys, David Rush. A man that is hoping to rectify the losses that he undertook last week in the Gauntlet. Coming up short against Ricky Rhombus. Leaders on the chart: Ricky Rhombus, Corey Sinclair, who will not be in action tonight, both scoring 3 points for the B block. And of course, Slarty and Shuko, each scoring 3 points as part of the A block. Slarty we will be seeing later on tonight in the main event against Tape. Bob scales over the top rope and marches down to the floor. And speaking of Bob and Tape, many people across the world have been speculating if they have some kind of alliance, some kind of bond. David Rush narrowly avoiding the hook kick from Bob, and Bob's a big man there. Jawbreaker from David Rush. David Rush is no stranger to utilizing brute force to get what he wants. He is a fearless individual. Caught up with David Rush in the past weeks since his defeat at the hands of Ricky Rhombus. Running big boot from Bob. Transitioning into a camel clutch. Pulling back on the neck of David Rush. A neck that certainly has to be sore after the rigorous training that he undertook to participate in this week's matchup. balancing a running lawnmower on the chin. For an ungodly amount of time. I believe the record was set at over 20 minutes. If he has that kind of endurance, he could take this to a time limit draw. The unfortunate caveat of that would be David Rush and Bob getting 0 points for the bout. There must be a winner if these two want to advance anywhere into this Golden Gauntlet. Big drop kick from David Rush. David Rush showcasing his power here tonight. Drop toe hold. David Rush regaining some control here, but only momentarily as Bob connects against him with that swinging neck breaker. Excuse me. Side kick sending Bob through the ropes. David Rush looking to go up top there. Bob re-enters the ring. Irish whip into the ropes. David Rush getting the boot up. Bob running face first into that size 11 soul of David Rush. Bob running right into the sternum of David Rush with that spear, however. The level of energy that can't be created nor destroyed. And Bob is just harnessing all of it. Running drop kick into the corner. David Rush scaling the top rope, going for an elbow drop, and unfortunately missing there. Bob getting out of harm's way that first time, but he might not be able to get out of it the second time here. Diving clothesline to the back of the neck of Bob. And David Rush is looking to neutralize the big man. And he'd be in one hell of a position to do that. Headlock takeover. Big drop kick from David Rush. Snap power bomb from David Rush. David Rush taking the time to hot dog and grandstand in the corner there. He's going for a dominator. Picking him up and slamming him down. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. David Rush securing 3 points in the bracket to kick off this week's edition of the Golden Gauntlet. Pardon me, it's been a hell of a day at the office. As we go to the B block with the updated scores, David Rush making it onto the board, 3 points. The B block looking like it's going to be under some fierce competition here, as the current KPW Tag Team Champion, one half of the Boise Boys, David Rush, putting away the 300-pound man. Bob put up one hell of a fight. Perhaps his priorities were elsewhere, and who could blame him? Being caught in the middle of this triangle of absolute uncertainty between him, Nick Flawless, and Tape. And I understand that Roger's waiting in the back here. He has a special guest for us, a man that will not be competing in tonight's event, but a man that certainly has a lot to say, a lot on his mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my next guest, one of the 10 contestants in the Golden Gauntlet, and a man that secured a 3-point victory last week against Popo in the main event. I am of course talking about Corey Sinclair. You got your stick pointing up high tonight, so you must be really happy about something. All jokes and innuendo aside, you must be more than pleased about your standing so far in the tournament.
Pleased isn't exactly the terminology I'd use to describe how I feel right now. If anything, it's an understatement. I jerked Popo around that ring last week, and you've seen the progress week in and week out Roger. I've always been regarded for my striking ability, and it's only up from here. My strikes are only going to get faster and stronger. And with that growth means I'm going to rise to the occasion and win the big one at Collision Course.
Considering this is your break week in the tournament, hopefully you use the time to study well. You scored 3 points so far, but you still have 3 matches ahead of you, young man. You still have matches against Ricky Rhombus, David Rush, and Bob. And that might not even be the end of it if you keep up the performance like you had against Popo.
Oh, you better believe I've been studying. I've been watching back tapes of my own matches and the matches of my opponents in the B block. I'm more than ready for the endurance test that this tournament offers. I'm going to score high in this block. I'm going to go to the block finals and win. And whoever is in the A block, you better bring your game, because in week 6, I'm going to be waiting for you. You better give it everything you got, because you're going to need it if you want to crack at the KPW World Heavyweight Champion. Chris Billy Ding Jedi, it doesn't matter to me. They're keeping the belt nice and warm for me because it's going to be around my waist for a long, long time. Get out of my shot, asshole.
Sorry about Shuko getting in the shot there, son. He looks like he's heading to ringside, so we'll get camera crew ready to cover it. But Corey, thank you for sharing your thoughts and giving us your time.
Yeah, it appears that Shuko making his presence known in the only way that he knows how. In classic fashion. Shuko just brazenly making an entrance here. And it appears he has a live microphone. It's been a week since he put out the offer to Sardi about reuniting the duo. This way he's here to address.
Last week, I called each and every one of you in the Kumite Forum douchebags. And I was thinking maybe I stepped a little bit out of line. Which is why I wanted to get this out of the way. I'm sorry that an entire generation of parents failed society by not aborting all of you douchebags here tonight.
Oh, for crying out loud. Is there no depth that he won't stoop to?
I'm sorry that your grandparents busted their asses off fighting war after war just to give birth to millions of spoiled bastards across the globe.
Listen to these fans here in the Kumite Forum. Currently voicing their displeasures.
No. You want to control what I have to say. Maybe step through these ropes so I can kick each and every single one of your asses. But until you leeches grow a pair of balls, eat my crumbs and like it. I'm just gonna talk over you guys whether you like it or not. Last week, I made the offer to the only friend you could ever need in a world like this. In a company like this. A company that thrives on chaos needs a pair of guys like us to knock some order back into it. I scored 3 points last week. You scored 3 points last week. And not to mention, you softened up the pencil neck geek for me on Warzone last Monday. The man that's gonna continue his stranglehold on the KPW Twitch division. A man that I will fight side by side with for the KPW Tag Team Championship at Madhouse. A brother in arms, a man that I will fight honorably in this very tournament. Freaks, losers, and perennial basement dwellers. I give to you the one and only, the two-time KPW Twitch champion, Slarty.
And here comes the one and only, the two-time KPW Twitch champion, Slarty. Dressed to the nines here, dressed for quite an occasion here. Slarty, of course, made that critical attack, beating down K-Dog before the bell rang last Monday night. And it still wasn't enough to put him away against Shuko.
I knew you'd come through and see some sense. And not to mention, your suit is just as good as mine. You can't put a price on fashion, which is unfortunately something you can't teach these people when they line up to leave the forum and return to their pathetic, dinky little shantytown homes.
Well, that response was certainly warranted here. KPW faithful voicing their displeasure.
I asked you if it was time to bring the nation back. In the past few weeks, we're even with the tag team champions. You won your match against Hollywood Hannon. And David Rush needed him to be there so he could actually beat me. That's 1-1, and all we gotta do is break the tie and take control of this company. So let me ask you one thing, Slarty. Are you in?
Is it time to get the First Nation back together? Or is it time for me to beat your puny ass into next week? What do you guys think? Should I kick Shuko's ass all across the Kumite Forum?
Do it! This has been something that he's needed for a long, long time.
Ask and you shall receive.
You're damn right a man like Shuko deserves it. He's a master manipulator. He's a cold, conniving son of a bitch.
I knew that all you bitches would love to see a family tear each other apart. Which is exactly why I'm not gonna do that. These people, these heathens tear each other apart every day of their lives. Husbands and wives cheating on each other. Brothers and sisters aiming for the jugular. The biggest sham I've ever heard about the United States of America is the idea that these bitches are united about anything in the first place. This country was only ever united under one concept, and that is fear. Fear is exactly what split you dumb shits apart, generation after generation. Most of you don't even trust your neighbors now, do you? But you know who I trust? I trust Shuko.
Both of these men got the Kumite faithful here tonight to a frenzy. They're gonna need to be escorted out of the building here by the police. The Bronze 5-0.
I trust the foundation that we built together over the years. It's what made us tag team champions before, and it's the very thing that will make us champions once again. This is our manifest destiny. This company is ours to take. KPW may not be united right now when we close this chapter in the history book. It will be united under the one and only Slarty, the mastermind Sigma Shuko. It will be united under the First Nation.
David Rush. Hollywood Hannon. We'll see you in 10 days. 'cause that's all the time you have left to be champions in this company. Bitches.
What a crazy revelation here tonight. The First Nation getting the band back together. Slarty and Shuko issuing out the challenge for the KPW Tag Team Championships. Oh my God. Almost got the damn forum in a... to take their shape into a riot. As a First Nation hastily escort to the back, we make our way into our next contest here. Singles action. Pure Cinema, France's greatest export. Going one-on-one against the Monarch Oliver English as part of the A block. In our second week of the Golden Gauntlet, a round-robin tournament to determine the #1 contender for the KPW World Heavyweight Championship at Collision Course. Oliver English emerging victorious last Monday night on Warzone against one half of High Velocity Atmosphere. An absolutely thrilling singles match. Big drop kick from Pure Cinema. Trying to daze and confuse the inaugural KPW World Heavyweight Champion Oliver English as they engage into a test of strength here. Oliver with the early advantage here. They're trying to power back in. Sneaks in the knee to the sternum and suplexes Oliver over. Spinning European uppercut. Double leg takedown by Pierre. Quick atomic drop. Facelock tie up. Running bulldog from the former world champion. This has been the perfect avenue for a man like Oliver English to become a two-time KPW World Heavyweight Champion. A loss against Pure Cinema here tonight would be crushing. Absolutely detrimental to his chase for championship gold. Each of these competitors will be competing in 4 singles matches over the course of 5 weeks. Oliver English falling short last week against Slarty. Currently with 0 points on the board. Running knee lift from Oliver English. You could recover from 1 loss, but 2 losses on back-to-back weeks is damn near a death sentence. Here, Cinema earning his opportunity by defeating Bam Dardino the night after Euphoria, a special event that you could catch on KOD Kumite on demand. Back body drop from Pierre. Oliver powers right back up, keeping the pressure on Pierre Cinema. Well, backslide pin. Oliver powers out. Not even a 1 count for that. Arm wrench, dropping the elbow right into the shoulder blades of Oliver English, and now he's going for an Indian deathlock. Blocking the ropes to prevent a rope break from the referee there. Sleeper hold by Pierre Cinema. Oh, excuse me, that was a cross-faced chicken wing. Pierre Cinema digging deep into his arsenal to put away the Monarch in the second week of the Golden Gauntlet. There are 5 competitors in each block. 10 men get the chance to advance to collision course. The main event, World Heavyweight Championship opportunity at stake. Back elbow into the chest of Pierre Cinema. Japanese arm drag from the Monarch. Leapfrog. Running clothesline. Now Pierre Cinema targeting the legs of Oliver English, those strong legs. The foundation that Oliver English is gonna need to put away France's greatest export, Pierre Cinema, with that patented special maneuver, the Big Ben. A move that has won Oliver English the most prestigious prize across all of KPW. A history-making maneuver right there. European uppercut, dropping down the elbow. Pearson might be able to spot out Oliver's weakness here. Oliver moving around with a limp. He can't even attempt to hide the damage that Pierre Cinema has inflicted in this bout already. Oliver English quick on his feet, but it might be to his detriment here. Waistlock tie up. Pierre Cinema catching the arm, going for an arm bar, but he was just too close to the ropes. An expert positioning on Oliver English. That in-ring awareness, that spatial awareness is what got him to the World Heavyweight Championship to begin with. Pierre Cinema, he wants to put this away early. He's going for a roll-up pin. That's how he got into the tournament to begin with. And Oliver kicks out. Big spinning wheel kick from Oliver English. The Monarch stays back in the fight. Another backslide pin attempt. 2 count this time. Here, Cinema starting to show signs of desperation. He knows that the longer that this bout goes, the more it will favor a man like Oliver English, a man that defended that World Heavyweight Championship all the way back at Hardcore Heaven in a 40-minute submission match. Drop kick to the gut. And Oliver English set up in that tree of woe position. Almost completely defenseless there. Head scissors takedown from Pierre Cinema. Back-to-back spinning wheel kicks from Pierre Cinema. European uppercut from Oliver English. Side kick to the head. And Oliver gonna go for a fisherman's suplex there. And Pierre just raking the back, digging his fingernails into the skin there. Scratch marks already taking shape down his back. And he gets the victory from it. Digging in deep into the back of the Monarch. Here's Cinema hooking the leg, securing one hell of a victory here tonight in the Golden Gauntlet. and quite possibly one of the most shocking defeats I've ever seen here. You know, I've always been told in my years as a commentator, as an announcer, never underestimate the back break. And it came in clutch here tonight for France's greatest export, Mr. Pierre Cinema. We get a look at the A block once again. Slarty, Shuko, Pierre Cinema, all with 3 points on the board. We will not be seeing Shuko in action this week. We will not be seeing Corey Sinclair in action this week, because they are exempt from this week's drawing. But still to come, we have Slarty versus Tape in the main event. And coming up next in Block B, we got Ricky Rhombus going up one-on-one against the heartthrob, the KPW hardcore champion, Popo. Something that goes without saying, especially when you have such high stakes as the Golden Gauntlet here. You just never know how a match is gonna start, and you just never know how it's gonna end. How badly do these individuals want to call themselves the KPW World Heavyweight Champion? How bad do they want an opportunity like this? Ricky Rhombus, no stranger to championship opportunities. And speaking of champions, here comes the KPW Hardcore Champion, Popo. Hot off the heels of a successful title defense last Monday night on Warzone against the prize fighter Venom Artemis. Currently unranked, 0 points in the Golden Gauntlet, going up against Ricky Rhombus, a man that has 3 points in the Gauntlet. This is Popo's chance to catch up to everybody else in the block. And this is also Ricky Rhombus' opportunity to take the lead in the B block. Running back elbow from Ricky Rhombus. Ricky received a championship opportunity, the world title, all the way back on August 5th against the then champion, the icon, the man they call Ding, a man that we will be seeing in action this Monday night on Warzone against the Viceroy Jedi. If Ding could overcome Jedi in the main event this Monday night, he'll be added to the KPW World Heavyweight Championship main event at Madhouse, October 27th, 9/8 Central. Or one, or maybe even both of them will go up against the 7'4", 525-pound man beast, your KPW World Heavyweight Champion, Crisp Billy. Popo and Ricky Rhombus just absolutely slugging it out here. Ricky Rhombus in the purple and white, Popo in the black and blue. Knife edge chops to the chest. Ricky Rhombus with the back suplex there. Popo trying to go for a headlock takeover. Ricky Rhombus trying to steal one here. Double leg takedown. Ricky Ramos blocking that jab there. Drop toe hold, center of the ring. Popo was far away from any kind of ropes, but he's closing that gap. Trying to back Ricky Ramos into a corner that he'd rather not be in. Ricky Ramos going up top for the shape up. That patented splash from the top rope. He's put many people away with a move like that. But Popo's not the ordinary kind of wrestler here. He's a former KPW Twitch champion. He is the current KPW Hardcore champion. He made it to the final two in the Lethal Lottery match all the way back in June. There are a few individuals in this company that have more gas in the tank than Popo. Ricky Ramos going for another shape up, and Popo just narrowly avoiding disaster. Hip toss. Single leg takedown from Ricky Ramos. Trying to seize the opportunity there. Popo staying on top of things, trying to neutralize that aerial offense of Ricky Ramos. Ricky Ramos, dare I say, he's looking for the perfect angle to put down a man like Popo. Certainly an opportunity that he would more than easily take advantage of. Russian leg sweep by Ricky Ramos. Now Ricky Ramos hot dogging and grandstanding to the crowd here. Kumite faithful have always been some of the most vocal fans across all of professional wrestling. They're not too shy of voicing who they approve of and who they show absolute disdain for. As the First Nation, the newly formed First Nation, the reformed, rebirthed tag team Slarty and Sigma Shuko, working this sold out Kumite Forum into an absolute frenzy, having to be escorted out of the arena by local law enforcement. That back elbow sends Ricky Ramos over the top and down to the floor. There's not a lot of padding on the outside. There's no give. Whatever padding that you see on the outside surrounding the ring, it is a very thin veneer. What's underneath it is pure concrete. German suplex attempt. Popo lands on his feet though. Popo hoping to secure an opportunity. T-bone suplex from Ricky Ramos. That's something that you can't take away from Ricky Ramos. When he gets in control of a match, he gets very cocky, very confident, but it can cost him in an opportunity like this. A man like Popo has one hell of a drive, the determination to succeed, to overcome the odds and prove the doubters wrong. Another Irish whip to the ropes. Popo with a forearm smash. And now it's Popo going up top. And he goes for a shape up of his own. Ricky Rhombus, this is exactly the kind of headspace that he wants Popo to be in. He wants to take advantage of Popo and his emotions as they reach a fever pitch. Popo regaining his composure here. Moonsault from the top rope. Ricky Rhombus scouting it, however. Quick forearm to the back of Ricky. Cover. And Ricky kicks out. Previously established, these matches are contested under 20-minute time limits. Pinfalls and submissions are worth 3 points. Count-out victories, a disqualification from staying outside the ring for 20 seconds, grants the victor 2 points, and a 20-minute time limit draw grants both competitors 0 points. Both of these men are going to be looking to put the other away. Convincing fashion here. Ripcord clothesline from Popo there. And he's going for the Texas T super kick. But Ricky's just right there at the ropes, reaching it with the inside arm there. Quick jab to the face of Ricky. Russian leg sweep. Popo getting whipped into the ropes, holding on for dear life. Regaining a little bit of ground here on Ricky Rhombus. And now he's taking that time to showboat. Quick jab down to the floor off the apron. Launch it to the outside, and Ricky just moved out of the way. Trying to outpace the hardcore champion. Looked like Ricky Rhombus was trying to put him away with that knee drop from the top rope. Texas T on the outside. Is Popo gonna take a count out victory? Tope suicida to the outside.
15, 16.
And Popo was sizing up to go for another one if he needed to. Popo more than willing to push things to the limit if need be. Snap jab to the chest of Ricky Rhombus, taking the breath out of him, knocking him down to the mat, hooking the leg. And Ricky kicks out. Spinning back elbow. Popo trying to go for another pin here. Inside leg taken care of. Dropped hold by Ricky Rhombus, trying to cut off that momentum that Popo's trying to mount up here. Popo trying to feed off the energy of the Kumite faithful here tonight. Collar and elbow tie up. Irish whip into the ropes. Back elbow. Trying to take down Ricky Rhombus, and he successfully achieves that. Popo setting him up for the figure four. But Ricky just too close to the ropes, just time in and time out throughout this bout. It's been the one thing keeping him alive, that awareness, that in-ring positioning. Popo has to capitalize. Two men sizing each other up, looking for the next opening. Next chance to take advantage of the other. Russian leg sweep from Ricky Rhombus. Man has certainly been putting in the minutes in this Golden Gauntlet tournament so far. The opening week last Thursday, he went up against David Rush, one half of the KPW Tag Team Champions, a match that went nearly 15 minutes in length, and he's looking to repeat that here tonight. Back suplex. Rhombus sizing up the hardcore champion. Blue Thunder Bomb. Now it's Popo getting saved by the rope break. How the roles have been reversed in this bout. Ricky's getting a little desperate here. Trying to put away the hardcore champion. Drop down. Power slam. Popo just getting right back up. Looks like Ricky Rhombus is going for a delayed vertical suplex here. Counting the seconds with one arm and holding Popo up with the other. And hat and drop. Ricky Rhombus looking to finish things with a shape up. And he's not done. He's going for a second one. He wants to make absolutely sure that Popo won't get back up. And Popo's does. That might have fired him up. All that high impact, aiming for the heart of Popo. The heartthrob, the KPW Hardcore Champion. I think those two shape-ups might have woke the man up. Irish whip it to the ropes. Leapfrog. Shoulder tackle. Elbow to the back of the neck of Popo. Cover. And Popo kicks out. A back suplex from Ricky Rhombus. 15 minutes in, he has 5 minutes to put this match away, or he will be walking away with no points here. A shape up. And Popo just challenging him to do it again. Telling Ricky, is that the best that you've got? Double axe handle to the back of the neck of Ricky. Ricky Rhombus absolutely incensed. He is livid. I can see the smokestacks shooting out of his ears after Popo powered back up. He's yelling at Popo to stay down. Rhombus going for another shape up. And Popo gets back up. Popo going low with the low blow. Insult to injury. Lateral press pinfall. And Ricky gets it. If you've been dealing with issues with your lumbar region, tonight has not been a good night for that. Here's Cinema getting the victory beforehand with that back rake. And now Ricky Rhombus just securely, just definitively putting down the hardcore champion with A double axe handle to the lower back region. Popo overcame at least four shape-ups, continually pushing Ricky Rhombus to his limits. But it appears that Popo reached his before Ricky Rhombus could tire out, before he could get gassed. And now Ricky Rhombus leading the pack with 6 points on the board. And with the current highest standing in the Golden Gauntlet so far, with four more weeks to go, with one main event match left on the card here tonight. But first, we're getting word. Roger, once again, our resident interviewer, the special guest here, Greek Machismo himself, Nick Flawless.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here with Greek Machismo himself, Nick Flawless. Help me understand something, son. I understand that you kept a keen eye on what Tape had to say on Warzone last week.
Freak out, freak out, freak out. Greek Machismo has been watching very intently and very closely, Roger. And I smell a liar, yeah. Tape stood in front of a live camera to tell the world how badly he wanted to stay away from Bob. But who has the most to gain from a man like Bob joining KPW? It's the man that's been hot-dogging and grandstanding about how he's suddenly a man of his word. And his word means zip to my ears, yeah. If there's one thing I don't like, it's a liar, yeah, and if I gotta smack a liar around just to get to who I really want to get my hands on, then so be it.
Now this doesn't add up. When Tape stood here next to me, what the entire world heard and saw from him was a very blunt, vehement denial of association with a man as dangerous as Bob. As adamant as he conducted himself, you're painting the picture that Tape is not what he claims to be. You're saying that Tape and Bob are in cahoots together?
Tape is gonna deny it until the sun rises. You and I already know that. If he's a man of his word, we'll see if he can put it into motion in 10 days, yeah. Roger, keep the microphone on for this. Because this isn't a challenge for Tape. This isn't a challenge for Bob either. Yeah. I want both of you. At Madhouse. Oh yeah.
Wait, you're going to fight Tape and Bob at the same time at Madhouse?
No more questions.
As I'm just receiving word now, it will be Tape versus Bob versus Nick Flawless in a triple threat match at Madhouse on the 27th. And speaking of Tape, I see him making his way through the gorilla position now. Back to ringside.
Nick Flawless issuing the challenge and immediately getting granted a match at Madhouse. Triple threat action, Bob versus Tape versus Nick Flawless. What an absolute conundrum that those three individuals have been in. Bob making his debut a couple weeks ago on Warzone. Attacking Nick Flawless after his bout. Tape trying to make as much distance as he can, but Nick Flawless doesn't trust him. He knows the history between those two men. And speaking of men that have come to coalitions, come to unite, earlier tonight, Slarty reforming the First Nation with Sigma Shuko. Both individuals with 3 points in the A block. Slarty and Shuko with 3 points. Tape currently with 0. Tape goes one-on-one against the KPW Twitch champion. Back body drop right off the jump there. Shot to the chest of Slarty. Ape and Slarty engaging in a test of strength. Slarty hoping to overpower Tape. Tape going for a Northern Light suplex. And he gets it. Another Irish whip into the ropes. Picture perfect drop kick. Staggering Slarty through the ropes once again. A body blow takes Tape down to the floor. Tape retrieving a weapon from the outside. Anything goes. Both of these individuals are as driven as they've ever been in their careers. This is the most driven I've seen either one of these men here at KPW. Both men driven by completely different reasons. Slarty's driven by his current reign of terror across KPW. A now two-time Twitch champion, reforming the First Nation with Sigma Shuko. A partnership that would be extremely fruitful to a man like Slarty, taking one target off of his list. Keeping laser focused on Slarty here tonight, however. This bout has been firmly in Tape's control. A back rake to Tape. Tape is here to prove to the world that he doesn't need a man like Bob to succeed here in KPW. Wants to do things with honor and dignity. And now Tape raking the back of Slarty. Tape going with the low blow here. Tape catching the open palm strike from Slarty. Over a roll-up pin there. He almost stole that victory here tonight. And now Slarty just raining hellfire, raining napalm with those chops, those rapid-fire chops. It's like a machine gun in here. Tape targeting the leg of Slarty. Our main event in the Golden Gauntlet here tonight. Two-handed choke lift, and he slams Tape down into towards the apron of the ring. One of the hardest parts of the ring. There is no give in this section of the ring whatsoever. Another open palm strike by Slarty. Trying to single out the arms of Slarty, noticing the elbow pad. Slarty moving out of the way of that front drop kick attempt from the top rope. And Tape raking the eyes of Slarty, going up top, looking for a moonsault. Slarty gets the knees up. Snap jab from Tape. Roundhouse kick to the head of Slarty. Slarty maintaining his control. his control, his balance. Tape trying to snap the arm off of Slarty there. Tape miscalculating the distance between him and Slarty with that front drop kick attempt. Tape was looking for a running knee there. Slarty was able to catch it and transition it into an ankle lock. Now Slarty's rapid firing those knee strikes to the gut of Tape. Now Tape on the offense once again. Roundhouse kick from Tape. Avalanche body splash from Slarty. And now Slarty's going for a lion tamer. That is a patented hold from the First Nation. Nobody knows how to lock in a move like that, like Slarty and Shuko. And now Slarty's on the offense. Slarty, one of the most aggressive strikers here in KPW. A man that has utilized that striking ability to his fullest. Made the most out of those opportunities. Keep going for a reverse figure four there. All right, take out the legs of Slarty now. Backdrop driver. Slarty's a stunned man now. Slarty just going back to those chops. Holding on to the wrist of Tape. And Tape kicks out of that pinfall attempt. Overhead back body drop. Lifting him up over one shoulder and flying over the other. Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Tape positioning Slarty to go up top here. Tape meeting him up top, looking for a back suplex from the top rope. Slarty sweeping Tape off of his feet. Tape maintain, trying to regain control of the bout here. Roll-up attempt, schoolboy pin. Or he's reaching the ropes. And Slarty going back to that lion tamer. Tape's hamstrings have to be in absolute agony with those repeated lion tamer attempts. Each one proving quite fruitful for Slarty. Springboard missile dropkick halfway across the ring. Reverse armbar sitting on the back of Slarty to apply extra pressure. He was hoping that the added weight, his added body weight on top of Slarty while pulling back on that arm in a way that arms are not meant to be extended. Was hoping that that would put him away definitively. Slarty throwing Tape off the top rope, taking him down to the ground, and this is a spot in the ring. That is the kind of angle that Slarty excels in. Keeping things grounded is where a man like Slarty can do the most damage. And Tape rakes the eyes of Slarty. Slarty's probably deeply regretting not bringing the gas mask with him to tonight's main event bout. Running bulldog by Tape. Could be signaling for the end here. He's looking for an octopus stretch here. Slarty reaches the ropes. Spinning back elbow. Slarty goes through the middle ropes, but Tape suplexes him back in. Lateral press. This could be it. And it's over. Tape keeping the pressure up on the KPW Twitch champion in the main event. Tape securing 3 points for himself. An absolutely breathtaking performance here tonight. He was here to prove the doubters wrong. He wanted to show that he could do things the honorable way. He wanted to show the world that he was more than capable of getting the job done himself. And I think he certainly achieved that here tonight. Sigma Shuko, the other half of the First Nation, nowhere to be found. And who could blame him? He got that crowd up into a frenzy a little more than half an hour ago. Police had to escort him out of the arena for his own safety. I'm sure he's walking. He went to a parking lot to a completely vandalized car. It's a miracle that nobody threw trash into the ring during that segment. Slarty might have been a little bit shook up by that. But Tape finally securing 3 points on the scoreboard. And that is all the time we have, folks. Thank you all for tuning in to the Golden Gauntlet. We will be back on Monday night with Warzone. Jedi, the Viceroy, goes one-on-one in the main event against the Icon, the man they call Ding. If Ding secures the victory, he'll be added to the World Heavyweight Championship match at Madhouse, October 27th, 9/8 Central. We'll also be seeing Tommy Tanks go one-on-one against Oliver English. We'll be seeing Sergeant Fox try an action against the director, Steven Gielberg. And after the critical acclaim of the triple threat match, 1,200 plus pounds of beef. Get ready, because we're about to add another 300 pounds to the equation. Crisp Billy and Big Bernard in tag team action against Chaos Control this Monday night, 9/8 Central, all on the Team Adhesive Broadcasting Network. Good night, everybody.